Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I guess this is the House Academy Show. I'm Steve and Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today, Jill and I talk about the failed anatomy of a spec home deal.
So this is interesting because now where we are with housing, right? People are talking about housing shortages. People are talking about getting things rezoned so you could have more homes, like LA County, have more homes on a lot to make it so there's more places for people to live, right? And affordable. And it's interesting. So there's a lot of building going on, not just renovating now since COVID and people are home, but a lot of people are moving and choosing to buy land. Yay, happy for us. And put houses on there. And it's just mind-boggling to me, some of these, I think, very risky decisions that they're making. Especially, it's one thing to buy your own piece of dirt and hire your own architect, and it's your own money. You're not going to sell it. You're buying it to build for you, and you're going to move in. That makes sense to me.
Jill's emotional about this topic. Let's take a question first, and then we'll get into the show.
Save it.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. Is free, and don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy YouTube channel and comment on the shows you like.
Horst wrote, how would you price a mailer if the sold comps are 50% lower than the for sale comps? So sold is $40,000. For sale right now is $80,000. And each data set consists of approximately 200 comps. Well, first of all, I'd be high-fiving myself because this is going up. It's becoming a more expensive area. Is there more to it, or is that the end
That's
of it? Okay, got it. So what do you want to say?
There is brilliance in simplicity. And this is an absolute brilliant question from somebody in Discord that I have never heard of. I think they're new, and they're clearly smart. What they're saying is, I pulled a data set, and what we teach is you got to look at everything that's for sale. You got to look at everything that's sold. And this person's saying there's 50% variance in this stuff. All the sold comps say they're 40,000. All the for sale comps say they're 80,000. One of the moderators came in, Kevin, and said, first thing I check for is an error in data, meaning you might be the error, Horst, but I don't think that. It's what Jill said. Jill's initial thought was, hey, the market's going up so fast.
It could be.
So that's one. No matter what, we can all agree this is a data exception. This is not usually what happens.
Right.
So it fascinates me innately. Data exceptions fascinate me, not the normal stuff. We all know the normal stuff. So maybe it's a market hotness thing, like Jill says. Maybe it's a data exception, like Kevin, our moderator, says. Or maybe you just do what I say all the time and follow the program. You take the $40,000, you take the $80,000, you average them out. That's $60,000, and you offer 10 or 20%. 10 or 20% of 10% of 60,000 is $6,000. So if you offer between $6,000 and $12,000, and you're right or wrong at between $40,000 and $80,000 on the sale side, you win.
Mm-hmm. That's easy. I would make sure too, they sold $40,000 comps. One thing I forgot to add, like I go in and toggle them back and forth and play with when was that? Because if all your sold comps and it's going back to the beginning of time, that's not good. But if the last 12 months, now I'm feeling good. And everything for sale, because it really could be going up. Some areas it is just nuts.
So what we're doing is deconstructing this problem, this data problem, and we're providing reasons and solutions and doing some smart stuff. We're inherently, not even knowing it, in front of a camera, deconstructing this problem. And by doing so, we're inherently reducing our risk, which leads me right into this show topic. We don't want risk. There's a risk associated with every time a dollar comes out of your pocket. There's risk associated with that. Some of it's, I've lost the dollar entirely forever, like when you buy something at a convenience store, all the way to, I know with extreme amount of confidence that I'm going to get $2 back when I spend this dollar, which is what we do for a living when we buy and sell land. Spec houses? I don't think so.
Let's get to the show.
I was.
Okay, good.
Today's topic, the failed anatomy of a spec home deal. This is the meat of the show. let me define spec home real quick because I know you want us to talk, and then you should jump in for sure.
Okay.
Spec is short for speculation. What's the nature of the word speculation is, let's see what happens. What?
That's like end of show. Like, who does that? Let's spend $8 million and let's just roll those dice and see how that goes. Okay.
So, I don't speculate at anything.
No.
And let me define how houses and real estate gets developed. And I'm not talking about a company like Toll Brothers or Shea Homes that goes in and buys 2,000 acres of agricultural land on the fringe of a major metropolitan area, subdivides it, goes through entitlement process, puts all the infrastructure in, and goes vertical on thousands and thousands of homes with office buildings of teams of marketing people. That's not a speculation. They know exactly what's going to happen. They spent millions of dollars on a feasibility study, and they have all the capital to do it. They're not speculating on anything. Within a great degree of certainty, they know what's going to happen, and they know how much they should sell the houses for and how much what they're going to yield. They better, because they have 100,000 shareholders behind them wondering how they're spending their money. So there's a great system of checks and balances there. And I'm not talking about renovating a house like on HGTV. I'm talking about buying a piece of land and building a house on it. And when you're done with it, it's for sale.
Mm-hmm. And you don't know who the buyer is yet. So that's your definition of spec homes. Okay. Well then, you just covered the Toll Brothers thing. Then there's the other version of it, which is the one-offs and the custom builders. This is the part I'm just like scratching my head going,
me too.
How do they justify this? And here's why. I'm drinking coffee this morning, and I'm kind of just like looking online. We get in the car, we drive around, and I'm watching this one go up. And I'm just thinking to myself, what huevos these people, that's not the right word.
No, that's the right word.
Is that the right word? Yeah. Okay. To take on this risk. I mean, let me tell you the numbers I'm talking about. This particular site that we know of, they spent between 1 and 2 million. That's like 1.5 for the dirt. And when I say dirt, I mean dirt. It wasn't a tear down. There was nothing there since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. They have had to bring in everything, including, and it's not level. We all talk about the grading and everything. They are drilling and bringing in excavators and the rocks. It's not gravel. The rocks, we thought they were going to have to blow up some stuff. I have yet to see blowing up anything, but they're sure digging and drilling and cutting into the side of a mountain almost to make this happen. Again, this is a spec home. This is not someone who bought the dirt and they love it and they're going to live there and they're building their dream home. These guys are trying to build somebody's dream home. And I'm just like, I don't know how they do it. So they're going to probably be in probably $2 million before they start building.
That's a good number.
So now, and the architect and the plans and the materials. And of course, when you're spending $2 million just to make it ready and to get the dirt, boy, you better believe it better be good what you're putting on there. So maybe they put another $500,000 to $1 million into the construction.
Well, it's a 7,000 square foot house at, let's say, $300 a foot now.
Right.
And so that's $2 million, 2.1, 2.3 for soft and hard costs.
You know what's so amazing to me too? I just no one's writing checks for this, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's a bank.
So they did all this and they convinced people to loan them the money. I think I'm a good salesperson. Whoever did talk people into that one, they're a fantastic salesperson. I'm like, that'd be hard to really sell that and say, this is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to sell it for 6 or more. So I think they have it. I think if you could, they start to pre-sell these things. If you haven't noticed, some areas of the country, when they do these custom spec homes, they'll start to post them for sale, not even being done, and only having plans done. Like I've seen it with cabins. Haven't you seen that too? Plans with dreamy cabins, and they're selling you the property and the plans. So
that's not a spec. And I'm not saying anything negative here. That's not a spec deal. What it is they own the land.
And they show it's possible.
They have a pre-approved That nobody broke ground on anything.
Right.
They have a pre-approved structure by the municipality, and it's all ready to go. All they need is for you to buy it as the end user.
That
That's
makes
not
more
a spec
sense
home.
to me.
That makes complete sense to me.
Right. But this one, they're going for it. So I guess my whole point is, I just want to talk about how many things could go wrong in this. And my other example is, there's a home that we know that we walked in and looked at. I'll never forget pulling up to it. It was beautiful. It was just like I'm talking about. They bought the dirt. They spent like $900,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, and they spent $900,000 on the dirt. That's right. And I think it might have, I don't know if it was a dirt or a tear down. It doesn't really matter. I don't know what was there. And they basically, though, they ground up, built something new and put it on the market for 6.5. We were walking up to the open house and I was trying to find the front door. I'm like, something's wrong with this picture. It's because the pool's in the front yard. The way the view is and the way you want to see, the way you want to look at the view, you have to kind of twist the house a little bit on the lot. And I'm like, this isn't right. Well, I went back and looked at it. And this is an example of all the things that can go wrong. It's the spec home, and they did it, and they've been trying to sell it since 2017. And they still haven't sold it. So there's what
in the
can go
hottest
wrong.
market in the real estate history.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful home.
In the hottest national market in this country's history, in the top 3 hottest towns in the Phoenix area, and they can't sell the property. So.
Yeah. And I'm sure they sold them all the things that this other spec home I'm telling you that's being built now is happening. And so if I was a lender, I'd be watching that one right now, sweating it.
So here's a point. You have choices. Yeah. As an investor, you have a lot of choices about what to do with your money, more than ever. You have choices now. You can go to Vegas. You can go to the stock market and start trading. Those two things aren't that different. But you can do what we do, which makes sense to me for some reason. You can send out a mailer, a very well thought out, well priced mailer, blind offer mail campaign for houses or for land that are materially undervalued for what you can resell the property. So now there's like 9 things we already know. We know where we're sending it. We know how we priced it. We know that we're sending prices that are maybe 80% less in some cases, 70% less what the market value of the property is. We know how hot the market is because we went through the red, green, yellow test. So check list by check, list by check on this list, we're reducing risk. So one property comes back in as if that's not good enough. All these letters go out. The 10 or 15 people that decide they're sellers, you didn't decide that they were. They decided themselves that they're sellers. They come back, and whether Joe talks to them on the phone or they just sign the offer and it comes back and you're staring at it, you check to see. You check. You have the purchase agreement in your hand. You check on the internet to see whether or not you're going to make any money on this thing. Well, how do you know if you're going to make money? Let's remove the final check on the checklist. Am I actually going to make money on this? Well, I have a purchase agreement in my hand for $42,000. I think that was this today. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or yesterday. All the properties around it are selling for $200,000. Is this a risk or not?
Right.
I don't see any risk at all.
Exactly.
I mean, none.
That's my whole point here. We sleep really well at night.
And if I do, and this happens often in real life, I don't see a risk in the deal or the pricing. We're all done with that. The seller's a willing seller. They chose himself. I didn't choose them. Nobody's selling anybody anything. But maybe there's access. Maybe there's one little thing that I don't know if there's access to this property or if there isn't. In 3 phone calls, I figure that out. I find out there's access. So now, in my opinion, this is about as riskless as you can get. And a spec home is about as risky as you can get in the real estate environment.
Yeah.
Why not build an office building that's empty and see if you can lease it? It's about the same level of lack of intelligence in real estate that I...
Don't even go there with me. Don't even start. Let's end it on that.
There's a concept called, air quotes, for sale real estate. You never want that.
Nope.
You never want to get your head behind for sale real estate or for lease real estate. And I completely agree with that.
Happy you could join us today. I'm going to save you right now.
Save me?
Oh, no, not saving you. I'm saving our listeners. 5 days a week, you can find us here on the Land/House Academy show. Need to send out a few thousand offers to property owners like us? check out offers and the number 2 owners.com. So it's offers2owners.com. No setup fees, free mail merge, exceptional service, and now including just released for everyone, concierge data and pricing. It's awesome. Give Offers to Owners a call today.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is Jack Thursday, and I'm going to talk about the challenges of the times we live in. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
I hope it's very uplifting because the show's going to drop on Thanksgiving.
It's very, very positive.
Oh, good.
Every single point that I have to make is positive.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, we would love to connect with you when we are on Clubhouse. Go find us. So get on Clubhouse. Number 1, join the Land Investing Club and then follow us and you will get alerted when we go live. It's usually the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.